Good morning everyone, this is Amasu. Today we're going to be customizing this Mangle. So first we want to get the figure's head off, so we're just going to throw it in some boiling water, leave it in for a couple minutes and take it out, and it should be able to pop off pretty easily. And for this next part you want to make sure to have proper protective gear. So I used my Dremel's orbital sander attachment to get the Mangle's hand off, and then just clean it up with the drum sander. And so we're going to have to cut the lower jaw off this Mangle, again with the orbital sander. And then once you get through all that plastic, just rip it off and then clean up the edges with the drum sander again. There we go. So we're going to have to lop the front part of the jaw off. So go ahead and just take that off and then make sure it's cleaned up a little bit. And we're going to also have to cut out Mangle's right eyeball. So carefully do that. I just used an X-Acto knife for this part. Then so for the next part we're going to have to use Sculpey, or any other type of polymer clay really. So roll out a long piece and cut those into little nuggets to make into teeth. You want to flatten out the bottom so that they can be glued on later. And here's these, so you want to have a couple of little ones and also some slightly bigger ones for the different sets of jaws. Now we're going to take some wire and make a new top jaw for the Mangle. Then bend it into shape, make sure it fits right. And then make two more pieces to go on top of that one. And now we're going to make the inner jaws with another piece of wire. So just bend those into shape. And make sure you have enough on the end to be able to twist it together. And make sure it fits. And then with another piece, make the lower jaw. And then you want to make sure that that fits in there with the upper jaw. Now we're going to make a wire armature for Mangle's body. It's got 8 limbs. And once that armature is finished, you want to take another piece of wire to wrap around all the limbs for reinforcement and to look cool. And now we're going to make a new bow tie for Mangle. So just make 2 little triangles, and then a little circle for the middle, stick them all together. And then for the skull of the endoskeleton, we're going to take a circle, lop the bottom off, poke some holes for the eye sockets, and then cut out a nose hole. And then make sure to make an extra eyeball as well and put that in. And then so now we'll cut out 3 feet, and make little toes. And don't forget to stab holes and everything so we can attach them later. And then we've got to make a little nose too. Now we're going to do some cool damage. Got a big scratch here, so we'll cut that out. And we also want to take chunks out of the ears so that we can show the endoskeleton coming through later. Then bake your Sculpey and don't burn it like I did. Then you want to cut 3 channels into the skull of the endoskeleton. It's got 1 deep one in the middle and then 2 smaller ones on the sides. Thread a piece of wire through, and then bend it into shape to make the upper and lower jaws of the endoskeleton. And now we're going to use some super glue, and we're going to attach the wire jaw to Mangle's face. And then make sure to reinforce the joints with more super glue and let that dry. And make sure you get help from your cat. And then you want to attach the other 2 pieces with more super glue. Now we're just going to fill the holes, then put little pieces of wire in where we cut the ear pieces out. And same with the top of the endoskeleton. And now we're going to attach the teeth, so just put some super glue down and then stick the tooth to it until it stays. And that's what you're going to end up with. Make sure to reinforce the teeth as well with extra super glue. Never too much super glue. And that's what the jaws look like, and then the endoskeleton with all the teeth. Don't forget the nose. Now we're going to put everything on the armature. Make sure the neck piece is long enough for both face pieces. Then attach that. You could add extra wire to reinforce it too. Then attach the endoskeleton skull to another one of the limbs. and then make sure to pull the wire through, and then you can wind it back around the limb. And now we're going to lop the fingers off this extra hand we had earlier. And then we're going to super glue little pieces of wire on the ends. Alright, and we'll thread through the feet, and then attach those to the armature as well. And cut a small hole in the bottom of the hand so we can thread that through as well. And you want to get your wire through that, and we'll attach that to the armature. Thread it through, and same thing, just twist it up and wind it back into the body. So we're going to attach the bow tie, just super glue it right on. Now for paint. So start with pink, just so that we can have a matching color all around. Repaint through the ears. And then go over the bow tie. And then we'll redo the eyeshadow. There we go. And now for red. So we'll just redo the lipstick. Very beautiful. And white. It's going to be for all the teeth. And the endoskeleton's eyeball and teeth as well. Now metallic silver. Go over the endoskeleton skull. And the feet. Now for black. So we're going to paint the eye and also that scratch we made earlier. Just wipe off the extra paint. And also the left eyeball. Make it all creepy looking. Ta-da! And don't forget the nose. And the inside of the jaw. And you want to paint the endoskeleton eye similar to how the original eye is painted. Make sure to paint inside the channels. And using a small amount of black, just go over the bow tie as well as the hand. Then we're going to brush some black paint over the head as well to give it that weather look. Make sure to get paint in the ear holes as well to make that metal pop. Then just continue weathering with Then we'll use a little bit of white paint to clean up some spots. Now yellow for the endoskeleton eyeball. Make sure to have a little pupil. And there's Nightmare Mangle. You can go ahead and seal it with a matte or a clear coat to make sure the paint all stays. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one!